Okay. Good evening. I'm going to call this meeting to order. This is a meeting of the Gloucester Licensing Board. Today is Tuesday, April 11th, 2023. The time is 6:37 p.m. This meeting is recorded by video and audio in accordance with state open meeting law pursuant to Chapter 107 of the Acts of 2022. This meeting will be conducted by remote participation. Additionally, all votes taken by the Gloucester Licensing Board during this and future remote meetings will be by roll call vote. If you're calling in on a phone, you can press *9 to request to speak. If you're watching on a computer or device, there is a raised hand button that you can tap or press to request to speak. Please use either of these options during oral communications to request to speak. The public may not physically attend this meeting, but every effort will be made to allow the public to view and listen to this meeting in real time and participate when necessary. Also, these meetings are recorded, as I said, and they are usually available on the City of Gloucester's website within 24 hours after the close of the meeting. So we will start with introductions. My name is Melissa Prince, member to this board. John
Limerance, member of the board.
Ted Costa, member of the board.
Thank you. And Allison Battle, our recording secretary. So before we start, I just want to say that this is obviously going to be a very active meeting tonight because I'm looking at attendees and we have 47 attendees, which is probably the most we've had since we were discussing COVID regulations a while back. So bear with me. We have a lot of business to do tonight. We want everyone to have their opportunity to be heard during their public hearings. So we were going to begin with the first public hearing, which is a proposed new Section 12 seasonal all alcohol beverage license for Rocky Neck Lobster Company 2, Inc., DBA The Lobster, located at 115 East Main Street, building number 121. Manager of record, Chris McGowan. So I know Allison has been working with several of the parties here. Attorney Eliason is with us tonight. Welcome.
Thank you.
Is there anyone, Attorney Eliason, that should be brought in with you to speak, or are you going to speak on behalf at this point?
I am going to speak on behalf, but if the board has questions, the owner, Tessa Brown, is on the line, as well as the record manager, Chris McGowan. So I don't know if the chair would prefer to bring them in now or wait to see if you have any questions.
I actually would like to bring them in. So Allison, can you see Tess and Chris? I see Chris McGowan twice. Tess Brown has raised her hand. And then Chris McGowan has raised their hand as well.
Yep, they've both been brought in. It just takes a few minutes.
So just to start out, to make it official, Attorney Eliason, I'm going to have you introduce yourself, state your name and address for the record, and then I will ask Tess to do the same and Chris to do the same as well. And then we can proceed with the hearing.
Thank you. For the record, my name is Deborah Ellison of Ellison Law Office, LLC. My address is 63 Middle Street, Gloucester, Mass.
Thank you. I apologize for saying your name. I thought it was Eliason.
That's okay.
Tess?
For the record, Tessa Brown, 32 Laurel Street, Gloucester, Massachusetts, and I own Rocky Neck Lobster Company too. Thanks.
Thank you. And Chris?
Christopher McGowan, 5 Andrews Court, Gloucester, Mass. I am the general manager of the Lobster.
Thank you. So how we intend to proceed tonight is we will hear from Attorney Allison about the application and anything that Tess and Chris would like to add as well. And then we will open the public hearing for public comment. And then close the public hearing and then have a discussion on the application. Does that sound okay with everyone? Thank you. Okay, Attorney Allison, you have the floor.
Thank you very much, Madam Chair. The applicant is Rocky Neck Lobster Company 2, which is doing business as the Lobster. The principal is Tessa Brown, and she is here tonight, as you know, and the manager of record is Chris McGowan. The property is located at 115 East Main Street. It is the first floor of building number 121, and the applicant is the lessee of the property. And if it please the chair, may I share my screen?
Absolutely. Do we have, Allison, can you give her sharing privileges, please?
I believe I
It's
have it.
already done. She doesn't
Okay.
need them.
Excellent, thank you.
Is it up?
It is.
Okay. As some of you may recall, this is what the building used to look like. It was in disrepair for many, many years. And when it was, property was put under new ownership, the building was replaced and repaired completely inside and out. The applicant is seeking a new Section 12 seasonal all alcoholic beverages license. The manager of record will be Christopher McGowan. They are also tonight seeking a common victualer's license. And I believe it would be most expedient to address both at the same time, but I will cede to the chair as to whether that's appropriate or not.
Yeah, of course, we will. We usually handle the business all at once, so
Okay,
that will happen at
Thank
the
you.
same time. Thank you.
thank you. So the building is located in the MI district, and it is on property that has marine industrial uses on the property. This is the restaurant. This is the numbered spaces are the parking that is associated with the restaurant. This is the owner's seafood lobster business, which is also on the property. And there is additional parking for other uses on the lot. And it has more than enough parking that is required under zoning. The building on the property, as I said, is primarily in the Marine Industrial District and Marine Industrial Buildings. The applicant has received site plan review approval, unanimous by the planning board, and unanimous approval from the city council for a special permit for the restaurant and approval for the restaurant in an MI district. This is the floor plan for the restaurant. They converted the existing first floor of the building, numbered 121, into the restaurant. Includes a commercial kitchen with indoor and outdoor seating. They will be doing business as the Lobster, and they will be serving lunch and dinner 7 days a week. They expect to begin at 11 and would like to close as is customary for restaurants in Gloucester, which I believe is 1 a.m. Per the city council special permit, the last seating will be no later than 10 p.m. on Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and holidays. It's going to be an informal eat in the rough style restaurant. Alcohol will be served at the bar and by wait staff serving the tables inside and out. The wait staff will take orders for the alcohol, check IDs, and bring the alcohol to the table. Food for both the indoor and outdoor customers will be ordered inside at a counter separate from the alcohol. So as you enter the building, there will be a counter here where people will order their food, and then they will be seated by the wait staff. And once they're seated, the waiter or waitress will come over, take their alcohol order, check IDs, and they will also serve the alcohol. There will be a takeout window, which will be outside, and those people will not be ordering any alcohol. They will be able to come and order food. The restaurant is a natural offshoot of the applicant's seafood lobster business that currently employs workers and purchases products from local fishermen and lobstermen. It will be an additional outlet for those sales, and it will be a true ocean to table operation. It will be a family-oriented restaurant and a place to get fresh, good seafood. Christopher McGowan is the manager of record. The applicant hired a professional restaurant manager with significant experience to run the restaurant. He's a Gloucester resident, expects to be on the premises 60 hours a week and will be present during peak hours. There will also be a beverage bar manager. And Chris's resume has been included in the application. As you can see, it details his experience. He has over 20 years of experience as a business manager and chef, and restaurant management and operations experience includes opening new restaurants, hiring, training of staff, customer and public relations. He's been certified by the AACEA, Massachusetts Alcohol Server Training. The beverage bar manager also has certification, and the wait staff serving alcohol will also be certified. The application will serve the public need in a manner to protect the common good. This building has been used as a restaurant, most recently Smoke and Gyms. The building was in complete disrepair, as you saw. It's been renovated by the owner and the restaurant space renovated by the applicant. Having a true ocean to table is the essence of Gloucester. It's what we're striving to preserve. It will serve as an additional outlet for the sale of the Cape Ann Lobstermen's products. And if they can sell lobsters locally, that means they don't have to ship them. It's much more efficient and cost effective and allows them to pay higher prices to the lobstermen. It's also a safety net for their business because during COVID, when shipping product was very difficult, they would have had another outlet for their product. In general, it will help serve the economic needs of the local fishing economy and small businesses that will supply goods and services to the restaurant. Being able to serve alcohol will make it a full service restaurant that can completely service its customers and residents and visitors of Gloucester. Tessa Brown has an excellent reputation in Gloucester. She's been a resident for 15 years. She's the owner of a thriving seafood lobster business. She supports the local fishing economy and fishermen. She volunteers her time for both civic and charitable causes. Christopher McGowan has many years of experience managing and operating a wide variety of well-respected restaurants throughout Massachusetts that include the service of alcohol. He's been a Gloucester resident for 12 years, and his resume details his vast experience. With regard to the common victualler license, it serves the public good. The property, as I said, has historically housed a restaurant. It's good to bring that back to the neighborhood. The applicant has a full-scale commercial kitchen and has the necessary implements and facilities for cooking, preparing, and service of food. And the floor plan shows in detail the layout of the restaurant and the kitchen. I'd also like to address some of the opposition letters that you received today. I think it's very important to remember that this is in the MI district, Marine Industrial District. There are residences across the street, but the restaurant itself is in the MI district. It's not a mixed district. It's a residence. Residences, in fact, are not generally allowed in the MI district. And that's because a working harbor can be noisy. And working harbor starts early and it works late. And it is much noisier than this restaurant will be. The marina next door uses loudspeakers. People on their boats at the marina play music outside with no restrictions as to time. The opposition is making assumptions that this restaurant will be operated as a restaurant that was operated decades ago operated. It's not reasonable to make those types of assumptions. This restaurant will be operated very professionally. Ms. Brown has employed a professional restaurant manager, and they both have good reputations in the community, and they intend to keep it that way. The City Council has also placed conditions on the special permit that address many of the neighbors' concerns, including when the last seating will be. They're not asking for an entertainment license. If they decided in the future to do that, there would have to be a separate hearing. And the City Council prohibits the use of loudspeakers, amplified music, or live entertainment outside on this premises. If they ever get an entertainment license, the City Council permit also requires that all windows be closed when entertainment takes place. And your board also is a stopgap measure. If they aren't operating in accordance with their license, then you can call them in. And the same thing with regard to the renewal is another time to oversee the license. So I would suggest to you that this business should be granted the permits that they were requesting. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
And I'll stop sharing my screen unless someone wants to ask questions about anything on there.
Thank you. I'm just going to give Tess Brown and Chris McGowan the opportunity if they want to add anything before we start asking questions, if that's okay with you, it's me often.
Absolutely.
Do either of you want to add to the presentation that was just provided to us for consideration? I'll take that as a no.
I think or Chris wants to, I think.
I just want to say that is what we've all discussed. We're going to be a professional restaurant. That's been my business model my whole year or my whole career. So yeah, we're not, that's what we want to do. We're not going to cause a ruckus. So trust me.
Okay.
I guess the
Um,
only other thing was people were questioning whether I was going to be there or be around, which I am because I'm on this property every day, 7 days a week. And I might not be in that building, but I'm going to be involved and be there every day. Maybe not all day, but I'm always somewhere that if anyone had a problem or the neighbors had a problem, they could contact me, which I think was something we went over with city council last year.
Thank you. Again, just want to point out, we have 52 attendees. I'm sure many are interested in this application tonight. We did receive several letters to the board. I'm going to say that I wouldn't say not so much opposition to the business opening, but I would just say there were some letters that had a genuine concern about potential noise later at night. But with that being said, Ted or John, do you have any questions that you want to ask before we open the public hearing?
I mean, I have questions, Madam Chair, just on kind of the layout and all that. We can wait till after the public hearing to do that.
Maybe we should have that questioning now, some basic questions, so that the public can hear the response before they speak, if they choose to speak. I do want to say we received a 117-page application, which was very thorough, very detailed, and complete with all the required notifications to abutters and then some. So the application provided a lot of information to us before we even started this hearing. But if there's some basic questions now, John, why don't you start?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I guess my question is on the outside. So it looks like those tables are exterior. They're not enclosed except for the bar. Is the bar area the only enclosed section of the restaurant?
No, may I pull up? I'll pull up the floor plan again to
Yes,
explain.
thank you.
Thank you.
So the only outside area, if you can see my cursor, is this area here.
Okay,
Everything else is interior.
great. All right. Windows open, close.
They do open and close, yes.
HVAC throughout.
Yes.
So summertime, you won't need to open the windows type of thing. So that would reduce noise. Okay. Wine, beer, alcohol storage. I don't see that identified on the floor plan.
I'm going to have to ask the manager or Ms. Brown to speak to that.
So where it says closet off the edge of the bar, where it says existing toilet, that's a liquor room that will be locked. And then the coolers and refrigerators will all be locked. And then there's a full security system and cameras throughout the whole building.
Interior, exterior.
Yes.
And who's the occupant in unit 2?
I rented that space also, but we're gonna put an office and use it as dry storage currently, but it's just has construction stuff in it right now. So it's empty.
Okay, so no tenant per se.
No.
Okay. And Madam Chair, I've worked with Chris in the past for many, many years, so I know his ability to manage the community. I guess the one last question is, are you dead set on the 1 a.m. closure? Or there's flexibility on the closing of that restaurant?
I think we would like to be considered similarly to any other restaurant in Gloucester. And if it's customary for the 1 a.m. close, that's what we would certainly be looking for. With an 11 p.m. last seating, you could see where sometimes someone who comes in at the last minute for dinner might linger. And we'd be concerned about having to worry about the close time or be in violation of the license if the close time were earlier.
Yeah, and I think my only challenge there is if it's a family restaurant, I don't see families coming in at 11 o'clock to sit with their children and partake in a late dinner. So.
with all due respect, I think if they had older children, they were here for vacation, you could see them coming in later, but, you know, it's not only going to be a family restaurant, but the orientation is family.
Great, thank you. Also, Madam Chair.
Thank you, John. Ted Coster, any questions at this time? We will have an opportunity for questions after we open and close the public hearing as well.
Well, then why don't I wait until the hearing's closed then?
Okay. My one question just right now, which I will have many later, what is the total occupancy? I'm looking for it on the application. I'm not locating it. The full occupancy, including outside.
The occupancy, the table occupancy is 133 total seats. And then there are 15 extra occupancy for staff. So I believe that the total occupancy is 148.
When you say occupancy for staff, what does that
Well, when
mean?
you have occupancy numbers, like the total that can be in the building, they include.
Oh, I see what you're
staff.
saying. I'm just
But the
wondering
seating-
table seating occupancy, including the bar, if you have that,
Seating, including the bar, is
133.
133. seats.
133, okay.
Yes,
And then you have the capacity pursuant to the Mass General laws, fire department, safety concerns.
yes, exactly. So there are 93 indoor seats and 40 outdoor seats.
40 outdoor, thank you. Okay, at this time, I am going to open the public hearing. I think I'm just going to take it as who would like to speak. Because we're not in person, which I really wish we were, because these meetings run better. I'm just going to ask whoever would like to speak to raise your hand, or if you're on a phone, press *9. And I'll just go down the list.
Madam
for those-
Chair,
Yes.
are we doing in favor first and then?
No, I'm just gonna let people speak and see how it goes. If I see a lot of hands up, and I might change that, but I think we can manage this by just allowing those that know that they want to speak first, and then we'll see how it goes. So the first one is going to be Bill F. If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
if we are not going to do all in favor and all those opposed separately, can you also have them state their position as well, in favor or opposed?
Yes, and
Clearly.
I just want to back it up a little bit. I mean, I can honestly say through the correspondence we've gotten, I don't know that anyone's necessarily opposed to the business. I think they're just opposed to potential operations of the business. I didn't read anything today to indicate that no one was against the business from opening, but only expressed concerns about the time of service and the noise and those types of issues. So I guess, Ted, I don't know if there really is an opposed to the business, but I'm going to ask everyone to express their concern when they speak, which is their opportunity during this public hearing to let us know their concerns. So Bill F., if you could state your name and address, please, for the record.
Yeah, yes, Bill Funk at 74 East Main Street. I am a 3-year resident of Gloucester, and I know the people at the Cape Ann Lobsterman Company for 3 years. I am there mostly every day because I walk my dog over there and I have friends there. Last year, I also spoke and attended the virtual city council meeting, and I thought a lot of this stuff that's being mentioned now was also discussed then regarding capacity, hours, noise, et cetera. However, I think the greatest concern right now is the section 12 of 204 CMR 200 of the Mass General laws regarding the ABCC licensing. I know Tessa to be a very responsible person, and I know that she would ensure that alcohol is consumed in accordance to her license, and knowing that spot inspections could be done at any time. It was mentioned last year that they will ensure that as best they can to their ability, that rowdiness would not be allowed. And I respect her beliefs and her handling of the business. And I think it would be great to have a full service restaurant on the east side of Gloucester, so to speak, and a quiet restaurant, because the Harbor House, I think it is, that's down the block, I can hear at 11 o'clock at night. That's very noisy. At any rate, I rest and turn the meeting back over to you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Bill. Next to speak, I see Jay Surratt. If you could unmute and state your name and address for the record, please.
Hi, my name is Jeff Surratt from 40 Rocky Neck Ave, Gloucester. My wife is Catherine McCarthy. She also resides there. I just want to say we're in total support of the Lobster. And I believe it'll make it a fine restaurant and it'll work as they are now with the neighbors. So you have, Tessa, you have total support on the Rocky Neck from us. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next person is Jane Militello. Jane, if you
Hello.
could unmute. Hi, Jane. Can you
Yes.
state your name and address, please?
Yes, my name is Jane Militello. I live at 7 Hammond Street, right up the street from the restaurant. And I'm not opposed to the restaurant itself. However, it's the hours that I'm concerned about. I was in the meeting a year ago when there was a lot of discussion about closing time, seating time, the time that the alcohol would be served. I'm a resident, I'm 77 years old. My experience comes from years of being in this, living in this neighborhood, in this home. And I know what can happen when a restaurant is open until 1 o'clock in the morning and all they're doing is serving alcohol. And what happens when people leave the restaurant, what happens when people park their cars, when there's not enough parking, fights, it goes on, and I won't explain it anymore. And if the restaurant is closing at 10 p.m.
Jane, I think you muted yourself. If you could unmute, the last we heard was 10
Sure,
p.m.
sorry. I hit it.
That's okay.
So if
The
the
last we heard
restaurant is-
was, go ahead, sorry.
Okay, 10 p.m.
Yeah.
So if the restaurant is closing at 10 p.m. during the week and 11 p.m. last serving on the weekends, why does the restaurant have to be open till 1 o'clock in the morning to serve alcohol? That does not make sense. The idea is it's a restaurant, the alcohol goes with the food, and it's not a bar, quote unquote. That's what's being stated over and over. It's a family restaurant, a local restaurant, quiet restaurant. And a lot of the seating is outside. And that's another discussion we had. People eating and drinking late into the night outside, because believe me, the noise carries right up the hill. It's like an amphitheater there. And I'm zoned in for a business, but it's also surrounded by housing. It's completely surrounded on each side and across the street and right up the hill. So, just to be clear, 1 a.m. is just not a reasonable time for a restaurant that's in the middle of a neighborhood. And that's all.
Thank you very much. The next person to speak will be Linda Amaro. And just for those at home to keep track, there's about 4 more hands up right now as well.
Melissa, did you pull her in? I'm sorry, Madam
did.
Chair.
I think I might have.
You totally, okay. I got scared. Thank you.
Linda Amaro, if you could unmute and state your name and address for the record, please.
Okay, I think I am on mute. Can you hear me?
I can, thank you.
Okay, my name is Linda Amaro. I live at 3 Stanwood Terrace, which is 1 street above East Main Street. My view, I do all of my living in the front of my house versus the folks who live on right along the East Main Street, not to diminish their issues, but I'm just saying that my living room, my bedroom is overlooking the big wide hole that is looking directly down on top of the outdoor seating. I I ask my people, I have a rental next door, I ask them to take their conversation inside after 10 o'clock at night because that's how noisy it is here. I've never heard music coming from boats at the marina there. It's just insane to think of people leaving at 1 o'clock and sitting outside. I won't get any sleep. I mean, I would have to close all my doors and windows. The disruption of the neighborhood, not to mention the fact that there'll be parking all over the place, I'm sure, on Hammond Street. It just seems very, very unreasonable. I am all for the restaurant. I think they have a wonderful business. No one is questioning their integrity, Tessa and her husband or whoever. It's all good. But that late night, I don't know why they, for instance, if they do state that the last seating is at 11, I mean, I don't understand. When is last call? So I guess that's one of my questions. And it just seems absolutely insane to have the restaurant open that late at night. I can't imagine how it's going to change the neighborhood and how disruptive it's going to be. So that is my concern. Every little sound from a conversation outside is right in my face. And that is what I'm worried about, and also for everyone else in the neighborhood. And that is my concern, the hours. I'd like to know exactly when is last call. How does this work? Are they sitting outside until 1 o'clock in the morning? I mean, what are the details of how this is going to go? That's it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. The next person will be Maria Valenti.
Hi, everyone. My name is Maria Valenti. I live at 103 East Main Street. That's 2 doors down from the restaurant. I sent in a letter with my concerns. I'm not opposed to the family restaurant, which I'm really surprised that the attorney said it's not only a family restaurant. Suddenly, it's not only a family restaurant. For the last year, it was only going to be a family restaurant. Now, suddenly, it's not only a family restaurant because they're looking for a 1 o'clock liquor license, which was not something that was granted in the special permit. The special permit from the city council was for a closing on 11 p.m. on the weekends and 10 p.m. on weekdays. It's not customary to close at 1 a.m. in Gloucester. There are many, many restaurants that close much earlier, particularly the family restaurants. So I was really surprised about that. And also I was surprised about the comment that there's no houses in the Marine Industrial District. Well, my house has been grandfathered in for 130 years, as have all the other houses on my side of East Main Street, which is on the side of the restaurant. So let's not be disingenuous. There are houses all around the restaurant. We are not opposed to the restaurant. We're happy it's going to be there. It's going to be a great seafood restaurant, but it has been proposed time and time again as a family restaurant that will be open during regular family restaurant hours. We do not want a late night bar that's going to be a magnet for 20-somethings coming from all over Cape Ann, which they do. As soon as they know a restaurant is open till 1 o'clock in the morning, they're all going to descend on this. And as I wrote in my letter, we've had that experience before with other restaurants in this area when they were open late night. And there was a whole host of horrible problems that happened. And parenthetically, there were 2 other restaurants that were proposed for this site for a 1 o'clock license that were denied for this same reason, that it's not an appropriate closing time for a restaurant in this area that is completely surrounded on 3 sides by residences. Yes, on the harbor side, it is in marine industrial, and the boats are coming in and out. So we're not opposing this restaurant at all. What we're opposing is a late night magnet for late night, 20-something drinkers that are going to come and descend on the place for a couple of hours. As soon as they sit down at 11 o'clock, they're going to start drinking. Nobody's going to come to that restaurant at 11 o'clock and order a $30 or $40 seafood dinner. Come on. This is not Spain. It's not Europe. It ain't going to happen here. So sorry, but I don't buy that. And I would respectfully ask the board to not approve a 1 o'clock license and to ask you to please, 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 for the sake of our neighborhood in East Gloucester, which has been fraught with all kinds of development, that you please approve no later than an 11 o'clock license on the weekends and 10 o'clock during the weekdays, as was permitted by the city council. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Maria. Next one to speak, and we have an additional 5 or 6 hands up, is Bradley Sheets, if I'm saying that correctly.
Sorry, I'm at 102 East Main Street. I'm directly across from.
Can you say your name, please?
Yeah, I'm sorry. I think I went on mute by accident. Bradley Sheets, 102 East Main Street. I'm directly across from the property at 115 East Main Street. First of all, I echo what Jane, Linda, and especially Maria said. We're not opposed to the restaurant. I mean, I've been here for 9 years now. I've been coming to Cape Ann for 20 years. It's a special place. We live in a multi-zoned community, whether the property is marine industrial, that is still not the point about the residents here, and noise does travel. So people who have spoken to the noise, they're correct. We deal with truck traffic and boat traffic, but that being said, that's the price to pay, right? So it is the hours. The 1 o'clock is it's just not appropriate for this area. This is like Maria said, this is not Europe. It's not Copacabana. This is not Bangkok. It's not, a family restaurant. They've done a great job renovating. When I moved here, looking at that eyesore across the street was embarrassing. Now it's beautiful, and they've done a great job. I enjoy watching the activity and the Inner Harbor and the business, but call it a day. 11 o'clock is suffice. To me, that's the compromise. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Next person to speak will be Stephanie Tashi. If you could state your name and address for the record, please.
Yes, good evening, everybody. I am Stephanie Salatashi, and I'm with my husband, Ken Tashi, and we are residents of Rocky Neck. We live at 48 Rocky Neck Avenue, and we live amongst restaurants here. So we know, I can understand everybody's sentiments, but I will tell you that most of the people in Rocky Neck that we spoke to about this project across the way here are more than thrilled that we have this ocean to table concept coming into East Gloucester. Many people have talked about supporting a concept like this for a long time, and everybody's super excited about a restaurant like this. There's nothing like Eat in the Rough in a marine industrial district. So all I would say is that we are in favor of this project and this restaurant. And we think that Tessa and others that are in this business together should have the similar rights that other restaurants do in Gloucester, so that it doesn't compromise her business. Thank you.
Thank you. Next person to speak will be JJD. If you could state your name and address, please.
It's John Doyle. I don't know where you got the JJD, probably from my email address. Can you hear me?
I can. That's what you come up as on the Zoom call,
Okay.
JJD.
John Doyle, 100 East Main Street. I live directly across from the property. I've lived in my house for 38 years, going on in September. I've been through the Moonies. I've been through various businesses across the street. I've been through Smoking Jim's, which was not a restaurant. It was a guy with a barbecue trailer and a few picnic tables. So let's be realistic about that. There hasn't been alcohol on that property since the Clam Shack, and ask some of the locals that lived through that. They don't remember it too fondly. Hey, ocean to table sounds great. You got a lobster business, local people can make money, great. But drunken foolishness at 1 o'clock in the morning is not something that the neighborhood needs. And the last two places that have applied for a permit for 1 o'clock in the morning got denied for that reason. The second one, he had more reasons than just that he shouldn't have got a license. But I don't want to sound redundant with what all the other people have said, but to us, it matters, that at midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, we're not listening to people outside having a great time. Good for you. But, we need to sleep. We need to be able to enjoy our property. And where this place is located is at the bottom of a hill that traps all the sound. It's all residential around it. I mean, you've got a little pocket of marine industrial, and pretty much anything goes in the marine industrial zone. But this was a special permit. And, my feeling was that the gist of it was that you would get a restaurant here and you would be able to serve alcohol. But, if your last seating is at 11, I don't know what kind of food they're going to be eating at 11. I'm sure they'll come up with something to make it work. But to be able to serve alcohol for another 2 hours to anybody who gets in the door by 11, who can sit outside, make all the noise they want, and torture the neighbors, it's just not something to get excited about. So, and for the record, the people across the street didn't get notified that this hearing was even going to happen. One of the abutters managed to get a notice shortly before the meeting and shared it with us. So we had to mobilize pretty quick here. This is typical of the other two. It's almost like trying to slide something through without, giving us adequate notice. So I'll say, you know what, you want to open a restaurant, close it at a reasonable hour, make money, give people jobs, go for it. But don't torture me late at night, and don't torture my neighbors. Thank you.
Thank you. Rosalie Shalino?
Someone brought her in already.
Rosalie, if you could unmute and state your name and address, please.
Hi, my name is Rosalie Shalino, and I do agree with the neighbors
Can I have your
that
address, please?
54 Wheeler Street in Gloucester. I do agree with the neighbors that, the noise, but, in Gloucester, everybody opposed to the restaurant. No one wanted it. And the people that opposed to it love it now. So why don't we give it a shot and see how it goes? I don't really have much to say. I don't live in the neighborhood, but I am for it. We need action on the waterfront.
Thank you, Rosalie.
You're welcome.
We still have 4 hands up, so we will go to Kellen O'Malley.
I said it, right?
Kellen O'Malley, 47 Crafts Road. I spoke
47,
last year-
I'm sorry, did you say Crafts Road?
Yeah, 47 Crafts, CRAFTS Road.
Thank you very much.
I spoke last year in support of the restaurant, and I feel the same opinion now. I think we're touching on a lot of similar points tonight, so I'm going to step aside and reach out on Tessa's character. There's a lot of local high school, college students that work down at the Lobster shop, which has been detrimental and very helpful in many ways, as well as for myself. When I first started, I'm a commercial lobsterman. When I first started fishing and they opened the Lobster shop, they allowed us to come in and unload lobsters at a very available times. And that gave me, much success within the business. So I feel, restricting them in any way is just not really just. And that's all I have for you tonight. Thanks.
Thank you very much. Alessia? Alessia, can you state your name and address for the record, please?
I just want to say those are very normal business
Alessia,
hours. I've
wait,
worked
hold
in a
on,
couple of different
Alessia.
restaurants in town.
Alessia,
Can you hear me?
can you state your name and address for the record, please? Hello? Can you hear us, Alessia?
Can you hear me?
I can. Can you hear us? Alessia, if you can hear us, you might need to call back in.
Hello, can you hear me?
Can you hear us? Alessia, can you
Can
hear
you hear
us?
me?
We can hear you. Can you hear us? Okay, Alessia is. Can you hear us? Allison, can you unpromote her and we will move on to Maria Valenti?
We already heard from Maria Valenti. How about Kate Wiggin?
I'm sorry. Okay, Kate Wiggin, yes.
Hi, can you hear me?
We can. Can you hear us?
Yes, thank you. Kate Wiggin, 7 Wall Street. I've been here probably 45 years and I really look forward to going to this restaurant. I'm very happy for them getting this open, but the closing time does bother me because it's at 1 o'clock in the morning. I mean, even from 11 to 1, who's going to be there? Certainly not anybody over 50 or 60. So it will be a young drinking crowd for the most part. And usually when you drink, you get louder. So I just think the outdoor tables are going to be a problem late at night. And I would really hope that you don't stay open that late and try to close at 11. And I think also the amount of business that's done after 11 o'clock may not be worth staying open that late. But I don't know, because I don't even know any restaurants that are open till 1 o'clock. Are there any on Rocky Neck that are open at 1 o'clock at night? I don't even know that. So that's my say, and I thank you.
Thank you very much, Kate. So I see one more hand up for Alessia. So if there's anyone else that would like to speak as well tonight on behalf of this application, please raise your hand. We have other matters to get to on the agenda as well. So I just want to get an idea of who would like to speak if possible. So we're going to try Alessia again. Alessia, can you hear us?
I can. Can you hear me?
We can. So can you state your name and address for the record, please?
Alessia Connolly, 2 Dornell Road.
I'm sorry, what was your address?
2 Dornell Road.
Thank you.
I just wanted to say that those are very normal business hours for restaurants in Gloucester. I've worked in a couple of them over the years as a bartender, as a hostess, as a waitress. Sometimes those few hours open later can make or break someone's shift. I also don't think it's fair to judge Tessa's new restaurant based on the history of other restaurants. And having worked in a late restaurant where food is served until midnight, yes, there are lots of those on the island. They work and they function great. They're quiet. People don't complain about them. People come in at 11 o'clock. I've had people come into the bar at 5 of 12 when we serve till midnight and order and stay, and we have to throw them out at 12:30. And it's not fair. So that little bit of time actually makes a big difference. And they don't have an entertainment license. It's not going to be loud. I can't see, having been in a restaurant that had a deck and having been in a restaurant that didn't have a deck, there really wasn't much difference in the clientele that late at night. Yeah, you might get those a few summer nights that are really nice and people are out there, but I really don't think the noise is going to be a huge issue. And I don't think the riffraff is going to be a problem because it's a restaurant first and foremost, not a bar like everyone else is complaining about. And I just think we should be fair and let them try it out. Hold on, Mama, I'm talking. Sorry, my 2-year-old has an opinion. He wants to go to Tessa's restaurant late, like the Europeans do.
That's okay. We understand. Do you have anything else to add?
No, I just think, like I said, we should be fair. I don't think we should judge them based on other restaurants that are late or loud or whatever. And I think we should consider the later hours, because those can make or break certain businesses and servers, and it can help people actually.
Thank you very much. Next person is Lisa Tilsey. Lisa, if you could unmute and state your name and address, please.
Yes, I just did. Hi,
Hi.
hi everyone. I'm Lisa Tilsey and I live at 17 Rocky Neck Avenue. I'm sorry. I live at 17 Wanson Street in Rocky Neck with my husband, John. First of all, I welcome this whole concept, ocean to table. More and more restaurants are doing it in Gloucester. I think that people are overreacting to the 20-year-olds going to a restaurant in East Gloucester at 11 o'clock at night to drink. If they're coming down here, they're going to go to Crow's Nest or Pratty's or any other bar in town. That is not what this restaurant's about. It's not what the concept is. But if you think about this town as a tourist town, and you come here to Gloucester, and you might get here with your family or on a late flight, or you're a business person, where can you get something to eat in Gloucester at 10 or 11 o'clock at night? You can go to Franklin. Now you have another restaurant you can go to. And as far as the noise, anyone in East Gloucester lives around the ocean. I hear the Beauport Princess, I hear Declan's, I hear music. I welcome it in the summer. It doesn't disrupt my life. If it does, I would shut the windows or complain. The reason why they have a manager here is to manage that. I think you should give this restaurant a chance. And anyone that thinks that a 50 or 60-year-old is not going to go out for dinner at 10 or 11 o'clock at night, I'm 62 and I would welcome it. So I think everyone needs to just take a deep breath and think about how Gloucester is progressing and how we are a tourist town, whether people like it or not. And we're not a fishing community anymore, where that's solidly what we're built on. This restaurant is actually allowing the fishing industry to survive here. So I'm totally in favor of this. If there are problems later down the road, visit them. But let this restaurant give it a try. If there are complaints, if there are it'll happen like any other restaurant in the city. But I am all in favor of this restaurant and Tess, who seems to be a very brilliant businesswoman, bringing good things to Gloucester. Don't shut it down. Thank you. All I have to
Thank
say.
you very much. Next person to speak will be Mark Tadelman. And after that, I see one more hand. Mark, could you unmute and state your name and address for the record, please?
Yeah. Hi, my name's Mark Tadelman. I live on 7 Ratcliffe Street in Rocky Neck in East Gloucester. And I think we should be supportive of new businesses in the city. That East Gloucester has lost a lot of restaurants over the years, and we should foster a small local business. We should support them and not judge them before they even open. Give them normal operating hours and not vilify them for something they haven't done yet. I think you got to give Tessa the opportunity to run her business like everyone else gets an opportunity to run their business, and judge it afterwards, but not before. That's not the American way. That's not the Gloucester way, to prejudge a business or any human being for that matter before they even have the chance to build their own reputation. So I suggest you give Tessa and her business the normal hours like we do with everyone else in the community.
Thank you. And we have one more hand up. It is Emily Oliver. And then
Can you hear
we'll
me
get,
okay?
I can. Can you
Okay.
state your name?
My name is Emily Oliver. I live at 10 Laurel Street in Gloucester. I'm just calling in to support the restaurant. My husband and I are local business owners. He's, for the record, 50 and I'm 34. We often work late. We often like to go out to eat afterwards. We might not get to a restaurant until 9 o'clock at night or even later. We also don't have kids, but like to go to family-friendly restaurants where maybe there's not live music or a DJ or that kind of environment. And I think that the environment that the restaurant creates kind of sets the tone for the people that go there. So I do understand local citizens' concerns, but for somebody like us who's just looking for a quiet dinner, maybe late at night, this would be ideal for us. That's all I have to say.
Thank you very much. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to this matter during this public hearing? Robert Ryan?
Good evening, Chairwoman Prince and other board members. My name is Bob Ryan, 3 Blake Court here in Gloucester. I live approximately 500 yards from the new restaurant. I feel I'm here tonight to speak in support of the restaurant and the application's hours. I commend the Montaninos, the Browns, Mr. McGowan, for the improvements to the property. They're creating jobs for the city. The new location is an asset to the city. And I can't tell you how much I support this proposal. I have gone through locations all within 100 yards down there. The Blue Roof, Paul's, Espressos, Bob's Clam Shack. Restaurants have existed there long before some of the speakers tonight. And I think we're dealing with professional people. Let them put the proof in the pudding and give them a chance on operating this restaurant. Thank you very much for the opportunity to speak.
Thank you very much. Mike Goodwin.
How about now?
I can hear you. Can you state your name and address, please?
Yeah, Mike Goodwin, 7 Ocean View Drive. I'm an East Gloucester resident and I'm also a local lobsterman. I deal with Tess on a professional level as a lobsterman, and she runs a 100% honest, great business. So I can only imagine how good the restaurant's going to run, and I am in total support of it. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Okay, we have JMAC 311. Can you unmute and state your name and address, please? JMAC 311, if you could unmute. You have your hand raised. And we cannot hear you. Perhaps you might want, oh, you look like you unmuted. Can you hear us? So JMAC 311, we cannot hear you. Is there, we've lost him or her, maybe they're gonna call back in. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to this application? Please raise your hand or press *9. We have 50 attendees on still. I'm just going to give it a few more seconds to see if that person is going to call back. Okay, I'm going to do last call. Is there anyone else that would like to speak to this petition? It's 7:39. I don't see anyone with a raised hand. So I am going to close this public hearing. Thank you all very much for your comments. So John and Ted, do you have any questions that you want to start with?
Madam Chair, yes, I have a couple.
Okay.
So first off, the restaurant itself has been stated that it's going to have a crowd of over 100 people. Do we have people that have some training in crowd control? We heard from one of the managers. What's your training behind moving that many people out of the building and off of the deck, should they need to go in a hurry?
So I think, Chris, that would be good towards you.
Yes, I worked with Legal Seafoods for the past 12 years, and I've have crowd control training ever since the station incident down in Rhode Island. I've been certified every year. My certification is current. We will have the other managers certified with crowd control. There's
Thank you.
many egresses on that building and that property.
I have a question also for Attorney Ellison, if I could.
Yes.
Attorney Ellison, what is your understanding of the 9 conditions that were placed on the special counsel permit? Are they conditions that will be adhered to?
We intend to adhere to the conditions that were placed on that special permit. If we do not, then we would be in violation of the permit and could be called back to the board.
Ted, do you have those conditions in front of you? And if so, could you just read them for those that are listening and for us as well? If you don't mind.
Condition 1 reads, the restaurant will occupy the first floor of the building numbered 121 and 115 East Main Street. Condition 2, outdoor seating is permitted on the deck as shown on the plan of land entitled Site Plan, prepared on March 11th, 2022, and submitted to the city clerk on April 6, 2022. 3, applicant is seeking a seasonal liquor license for the restaurant use. 4, pursuant to the zoning ordinance, takeout food may constitute more than 20% of the total business of the restaurant. 5, applicant/owner shall comply with all applicable state and local statutes and regulations governing the property. Period. Further, comma, the city council finds that the condition of Gloucester zoning ordinance section 1.8.3 have been satisfied. Number 6, states dumpster or trash container area to be permanently screened and maintained. Number 7 reads, there will be no use of loudspeakers, amplified music, or live entertainment outside. Number 8 states hours of operation. The last seating will be no later than 10 p.m. Sunday through Thursday and 11 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and holidays. And number 9, which is the last condition, is in the event of entertainment inside the restaurant, windows are to be required to be closed to minimize neighborhood impact.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. My last question is, in the correspondence that we have received in writing, we have one that came just recently or late, and it is from a Don Caraway. Do you have, Attorney Ellison or Ms. Brown, a relationship or professional knowledge of her position at your restaurant?
Believe that she is going to be the beverage manager.
Yes, that's correct. She couldn't be here tonight because she was traveling home, but she was going to try and get on at one point if she could.
She's actually on right now, and we can allow her to speak if, Ted, if you have a question for her. I know she is traveling. She may not be able to speak, but I see that she's on the line.
Well, my only question was, in reading just before the meeting started, the email that you sent to us, it mentions that, and I'll quote, to ensure that community concerns about noise, nuisance, and other impacts are considered, Chris, I assume that's Mr. McGowan, and I plan to have the restaurant hours limited to 11 p.m. on the weekends and 10 p.m. during the week, unless a special event is planned, end quote. So is there now a difference of consideration with regarding that statement?
The restaurant intends to operate according to the special permit, which says that there will be seating will end at 10 o'clock. New seating will end at 10 o'clock during the week and at 11 on weekends. With regard to whether this restaurant would be open till 1 o'clock, there are a lot of restaurants that are allowed under this board to be open to 1 o'clock, but do not have those operation hours. And so I would suggest that we are seeking not to be treated any differently than any other restaurant in Gloucester, and that the hours of operation may be earlier than the 1 a.m. But we don't believe that it would be fair to this restaurant to put earlier hours on it that are not the same requirement for everyone else.
Okay.
Madam Chair,
Yes, go ahead, John.
while we were listening to everyone, I decided to look through open government and look at the hours of operation or end time for alcohol. For the folks in East Gloucester, end time for one establishment is 10 p.m. The other 3 are 12 a.m. for an end time. Most downtown restaurants are 12:30 a.m. for end time. Folks out in Annisquam, 9:30 to 11 p.m. are their end times. And then, yeah, I think that captures everyone. And mile marker is 12:30 a.m. But I look at, the East Gloucester restaurants, and those are all 12 a.m. So.
May I ask a clarification? Is that last call or is that when the restaurant closes?
So that was end time of alcohol service.
So last call colloquially is what you would, so the restaurant would be open perhaps later once they had the last call.
I don't believe, I think that's what they have on their license and that's what they requested. I'm not sure they operate till that period of time.
Mhm. Yeah. So I think we have to be careful that if a close time is different than a last call for alcohol. So last call is someone can get a drink and then they can stay there and drink it till the restaurant closes. If there's a close time of 12 a.m., then people would have to be leaving at that time. So I think we need to be careful of that distinction. So someone coming in for a last seating at 11, if the close time was midnight, you would have to tell them that, you know, you need to eat pretty quickly. We're going to put the order in, but you're not going to have a lot of time to eat it. So I think we need to be careful about that.
So Madam Chair, if I could, we have under Mass General Law 138, Section 12 states that we cannot bar an applicant from serving of alcohol or pouring of alcohol from 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. But we have restaurants within our jurisdiction that close, as John said, anywhere from 9 to 12 a.m., correct?
Correct.
Thank you.
And just to note, Dawn Caraway cannot speak to us tonight, even though she's online. She's not able to answer to us. She doesn't have a microphone. If I may, John and Ted, do you have any more questions at this point right now?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay.
No, Madam Chair.
If something comes up, I'm not prohibiting you from asking more. I just wanted to know if I could ask my questions. That's all. So I guess my question is to the attorney, Tess and Chris. There's one experience I've had on this board in the last 3 years is that when we have restaurants with close neighbors, there's a concern for noise. And I don't know many places in Gloucester that would not exist because most Gloucester is very tight knit and there are restaurants and neighborhoods. And we've been fortunate to work with concerns of noise, working side by side with residents and restaurants. And it's been pretty successful. Every now and then we get a glip where we get a complaint, but overall, I've come to learn that Gloucester supports their businesses in a big way, and they try to work with their businesses. And at the same time, they have their expectations that businesses are going to act responsibly, and they do. That's the wonderful thing about Gloucester is here we are on the licensing board and we don't get that many complaints. So I guess I would want to hear from Ted and Chris. You've heard the concerns tonight, pretty much repetitive. I'm curious to know what your response is to how you're going to manage the business and assure the neighbors that this is not going to turn into a last call bar, that young kids aren't going to be racing over knowing that they have an opportunity to get a drink outdoors on the water, even though there are other restaurants in Gloucester that do that. I guess I would just want to hear what your response is to those that made those concerns well known to us tonight.
I guess I can start, but I would say that if you came to the building, first of all, the tables in the bar area are to the back and the side of the building, away from most of the neighbors that spoke. The side outdoor deck is something that even could be closed earlier. There's no bar out there. It's just tables. So it's not necessarily something where people have to be having a drink outside at night. And so our intention is not to have a nightclub, not to have any of that. We operate a business that operates pretty much, I do 24 hours a day, all summer long. There's people here at midnight all summer long packing lobsters. It's not really something where I want drunk people in a parking lot where I have trucks coming in and out. So that's not our intention. I think our intention is just to be treated fairly like all the other businesses in town, where if one night we had someone that wanted to have a wedding reception or something, they could be there till 11:30 at night with the windows closed, which is on our special permit. So it's not something we're at all intending to do. We don't want a nightclub. There's apartments upstairs. Our chef lives upstairs. That's the last thing he wants. He literally lives over the bar. So I can't imagine that's anything he wants any part of, or we want any part of. We want to get along with the neighbors. We want to be respectful. I think we've come a long way, and then we're not looking to cause any problems at all. And we're open to, we talked about this at City Council, if they have concerns that they can come to us, and we're more than happy to try and accommodate them and make it work for everyone around here, because that's what we're trying to do. I'm not trying to make their lives more miserable. We're just trying to give people good food and support the local fishermen in the city, basically.
Chris, do you want to add to that as potential manager of the license?
So Tess and I are on the same page with this. Obviously, we want to have a very respectable restaurant that is family oriented and also a nice sort of feel to go to for people our age to go in and get a nice meal, be it like the similar restaurants in Gloucester. It is not going to be, we don't want what people think it's going to be. I grew up as a kid at Bob's Clam Shack. I know what everyone's talking about. It's not going to be that. I can assure you. As being in charge of this, it will not be that. So.
And is there a potential to have employees that would be able to manage or keep eyes on the parking lot if it does get overwhelmingly busy late at night? Is that something that's included in your business plan?
Yeah, I mean, I think we're sort of gonna see how it goes, but it might even be on the weekends. There's people in the parking lot telling people where to park and where to go, because it's a mixed use where I can't have my business blocked on the side, and then the marina also has the rights to have people go to their boats or whatever. So I think we've talked about that and sort of talked about having a parking attendant if we needed it. But we don't really know what to expect just because we haven't been open. So it could work out perfectly fine. There's plenty of parking, and if people are respectful and park in parking places, it shouldn't be a problem. But if not, it's something that we've definitely talked about.
And can you just tell me again, I mean, I saw the floor plan. Appears to be a lot of parking. How many parking spaces are there?
There's 86 parking spaces.
And that's 24 more spaces than required by zoning.
Okay.
And that's not the whole parking lot, but those are the ones we sort of put aside for the restaurant.
Okay, so you have a capacity of 130 with 86 parking spaces. So that's a really good ratio compared to most businesses in Gloucester. And when you say to do special events, is that something that would be inside more so than outside?
Yeah, I mean, I think the majority of that kind of thing would be inside, just between bugs and seagulls and animals and the heat and everything. It's not really something where, and rain, it's not part of the deck's covered, but half the deck's not covered. So weather dependent, the deck's not even going to be open.
Okay, so walk me through this. So I walk into the restaurant, I am walking up to a counter to place my order for seafood?
Yes.
Was that what I heard correctly?
Yes.
And then I get to go to a table and wait, call a number or something similar to?
Yep, someone will seat you and then you'll have a number, and then someone will come over and ask you if you want a drink from the bar area. You can order a drink from them if you want one, water, soda, whatever. They'll bring it to you, and then a food runner will bring you your food. And then there'll be people, the person taking your drink order or the food runners walking around. If you wanted to order more food or needed something, they would be able to help you. But all the people serving beer and wine and alcohol would be tip certified from the bar that would be working the bar area.
So employees serving alcohol are different employees than those running food?
Yes, totally. Completely
And at
different people.
no time will a food runner be handling alcohol or
No,
taking
'cause they
risks
won't.
alcohol, I should say?
No, because they don't have the ability to put orders in to the system.
And there's no ability to walk up and get a drink and walk off and go to a table. There will be table service at all times.
Yep.
Thank you.
So Madam Chair, if I
Go
could,
ahead. You may.
on your kind of operation planning questions, how do we, so my struggle with this is the city council had a public hearing on, which was particularly to be on the zoning use granting. And there was much discussion in favor of the applicant to open a restaurant, and much discussion somewhat supporting, but also having the concerns which generated restriction or council condition number 8, the reduced time. This is a first for me to have such a condition which holds value and could, if broken, shut the operation down. So I'm trying to figure out how restaurants that struggle with employees or the lack thereof are going to monitor that last seating component to be compliant with the city council's condition. How are we gonna police that?
I think it would be like any restaurant polices whatever closing time or last call time that they have, that, you know, they'll know that it's 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock and that no one else is allowed in to be seated. You know, I don't think it'll be handled any differently or needs to be handled any differently. It'll be a time thing. Everyone will know that this night at 10 o'clock, we're not seating anyone. There are a lot of restaurants you'll go to and let's say the kitchen closes at a certain time. And so you know that you can't order food past that time. So it's not an unusual condition to have.
I was looking at it more from a manpower or personnel standpoint. So you can't lock a door with people inside your facility. So you're going to have to position somebody at the door, a staff member, to make sure that people aren't coming in after those two designated times of 10 and 11. Is that
Well,
something?
if they came into the door and went to the counter to order food, they wouldn't be
You're not
allowed
gonna be
order
able to.
food, and they wouldn't be seated. So that's how it would be controlled. People aren't going to be coming in and seating themselves. They'll have to wait to be seated.
Okay. Thank you.
So just to piggyback on that, so I'm walking in 5 minutes of 11 on a Saturday night. I can go to the counter. The workers at the counter know they can take orders for the next 5 minutes before I can go to a table. How in the bar, that will be managed that at 11 o'clock on a Saturday, no one else will be allowed to be seated at the bar. Only those that are there and seats already will be remaining.
Right.
Yeah.
So
That's my understanding of the city council regulation, and that's my understanding of how you intend to proceed. So at 11:15, there's no one new coming in. The only service will be to those who are already seated and have put their food order in prior to 10 or 11 o'clock, depending on the day.
Correct.
Correct.
And that's part of the reason for, you know, having people be seated and not find their own table. So you're able to control it that way.
And is there a time that you would allow a patron to come in and just drink as opposed to eating?
A time like a specific time or a time like that you're saying at night?
Anytime. So I come in at 10 o'clock on a Saturday night, but I don't want to order food. I just want to come in and drink. What would be the reaction to that type of service?
Well, I think
In other words,
that
I'm
would
not
be-
ordering food. I just come in and either go get a seat at the bar or sit at a table and wait for someone to come over and take my drink order.
There isn't any restaurant that I'm aware of that isn't allowed in Gloucester to allow people to come in and just have a drink and not order food. I know that Rockport used to have rules that you had to order food. I don't know whether those rules are still in effect, but typically that wouldn't be a requirement of a liquor license or normal in a restaurant.
So, and I appreciate that, and I understand that it wouldn't be a requirement. I'm just trying to understand how the business is going to be managed. A group of 10 younger kids come in, want to sit down and just order beers and a few drinks with no food at 10 o'clock. I'm just wondering how that's going to be managed.
I mean, I guess
So,
if you want to,
go ahead. Yeah, if you'd like to speak, Tess.
or I guess from my point of view, it would be, had they been drinking before they got there, if they had been, we would just tell them to leave because we're closing down early and get them out of there. I don't think we want a group of 10 people coming in at 10 o'clock at night just drinking. That's not what we're going for. If it was like a older couple coming home from out of town or the airport or something, they wanted to stop and get a drink, a beer, and, you know, French fries or something, I think that's a totally different situation than 10 people coming in just to have 5 fast drinks or something before they go on to the next spot.
Thank you. And Chess, just so you know, I've never met you, but I've been hearing about you for years, and you have a very good reputation in this community.
Thank
So
you.
I just wanted to say that. I'm just trying to understand your business practices.
No, totally.
But I do have a lot of faith and trust in this, this great restaurant that is coming to us. It amazes me that no one has done this before you. Because I really believe this is going to be an extremely successful restaurant in Gloucester and look forward to dining there.
Thank you.
And Chris, I've heard your name as well. And John, as he mentioned earlier, he's worked with you in the past, or he's aware of you too. So I see this application as being very strong in a lot of ways. One, for the type of business that or the service that you're providing with the seafood, but also I believe this is being presented very responsibly. At the same time, I do share concerns about noise, but we do that with many applications. This isn't the first, and it's not going to be the last. You know, when we had a petition down in Annisquam, which is in a very tight neighborhood down there, both the current owner and the previous owner set up some sort of email with neighbors that they could pass complaints or concerns or suggestions back and forth just to air them out and just so that they felt heard if things got a little bit louder than they expected. I know it's good to work with neighbors and let them know as much information as possible if you're having some sort of special event. I know there was a little bit of disappointment by those who spoke tonight, feeling that they didn't get notice of this hearing. Just in response to that, I would say that legally, applications just give notice to abutters, but that we post our public hearings in the newspaper and on the city website for others to learn about it as well. So I just wanted to squash any concern about this getting put through without adequate notice to all those that are concerned or that want to speak on behalf of this business application. John or Ted, any questions about the specific of the business?
No, Chair, just to kind of piggyback on, you know, the restaurant we worked with before and the email kind of chain. They also met in person, you know, prior to the season, after the season, and got feedback and all that. And we have not, I've been on the board since 2018, and it's been a really good relationship. So I highly recommend, you know, that you do that, so that way you can have that partnership with your neighbors. You know, and obviously, I mean, I know Chris, I know how hard he's been working on this, you know, this project. But I'd really strongly encourage maybe some different hour on the deck versus the restaurant itself, especially because of the location of the restaurant itself. So please consider that as an option. Always can be changed in the future.
And you do have the advantage of having air conditioning inside, where many of our restaurants don't. So that is a bonus for your location, that you can stay cool at night and contain the sound, where many restaurants struggle with that because they have to open their windows to get air.
One of the difficulties with, and we discussed this before the city council, with closing the deck earlier than the restaurant, is that if you have people who are still eating on the deck at closing time and there's no room in the restaurant to put them, or you have to, you know, move their entire table. So practically there can be some difficulties with that. That was the concern.
And just to remind everyone with those concerns as well, there is not an entertainment application before us tonight. There will not be entertainment outdoors and with windows shut. And we have decimal regulations in Gloucester too as well, to contain any sound. I have faith that there shouldn't be any issues knowing that you're going into this business so responsibly. Ted, any more concerns or questions on your behalf?
I have a question that perhaps John or yourself could help me out with. I can't seem to pull up on Viewpoint. John brought up the fact that, and we did hear from quite a few people in Rocky Neck, the Rocky Neck restaurants close at 12. At what time do they stop serving food? Do we have that anywhere in Viewpoint, John? I'm just trying to.
No, we
figure-
don't.
my-
Yeah, we
my-
don't
my
identify that.
biggest, my biggest headache with this is the 1 o'clock timeframe.
So with alcohol, we usually, last call is at 12:30 and patrons have to be off premises by 1. There's not, we won't, there's serving food will end at 11 o'clock. You know, people, I'm understanding this, and correct me if I'm wrong. I come in at 11 o'clock, I'm going to the counter to order my food right then and there. And then you're not taking any more orders. So it's not like
Correct.
someone's coming in at 11:15. 11 o'clock is the last food to be served. And then the patron can stay and eat the food and then be out. The last call is at 12:30. So they're not serving food till 1.
I was just trying to rationalize the time that there would be no food served and they still have the ability to consume alcohol for an hour and a half or 2 hours respectively.
And I'm glad you brought that up because we do, I forget what restaurant it was. And I think it might even been Annisquam when we were discussing them with the prior owner. Are you gonna limit how many drinks one can have once their dinner is finished and your food service has stopped? So it's 11:45 and there's no food on the table and they're ordering another round of drinks. Is it your intention that you want to be able to serve alcohol until 12:30? Or are you trying to encourage the business to close earlier than 12:30?
Stop it.
So if I could speak, the alcohol consumption is based on time and how much someone has been served to drink. Obviously, we've all taken the tips class. Our intention is to have a restaurant that closes early, not to be open late. I've been in this business a long time. I have no intention of running a Pratty's, so to speak.
Yeah.
That's
And we all
not
love
what
Pratty's for the record.
It's not what, that is not what Tess and I are looking to do here. We're looking to, do a very sophisticated seat-at-table restaurant that will provide the community with a great resource for a healthy and happy meal and a good tourist spot. It's not going to be a college bar. It's not going to be the Farm in Essex.
So funny you bring that up. So the Farm had an application in years ago, right? So right off the bat, your application is tarnished by the fact that the Farm tried to come here. And it caused a lot of conversation in the community, right? So let's just check off, Farm is gone. You're not the Farm. You don't operate like the Farm did at that time.
I don't even go there.
Yeah, okay. So the one thing I can say is that the city council did put limitations on this application. I know the time I've been on the board and Ted as well, and probably John, we've never had to address this type of issue. And knowing the city council and from what I've heard of that conversation, to me, they are genuinely trying to address the concerns we've heard tonight, send a message that yes, this is an excellent business, but we just want to make sure that it doesn't turn into a rowdy establishment. So I'm wondering what your feeling would be is if we, and this is just my suggestion, this is not a vote or anything, I'm just curious to hear your feedback, that if like the restaurants down at Rocky Neck, which is right near you, if you were not to serve any alcohol after 12, that gives the person coming in at 11 an hour to consume alcohol, purchase drinks, and then be on their way. I'm curious to know what your comment to that would be.
I think one concern would be to what Tessa had talked about, the unusual or few times that they decide to have an event, whether or not that would impact the event. I guess I'd have to ask Tessa and Chris whether that would impact those types of events because they would be precluded from doing it.
I don't think it would, technically. I think midnight's fair.
And
if everyone else around here is midnight.
Well, and it's
I agree.
consistent to what Attorney
Yeah.
Allison had said, you know, it should be fair to what's going on with other businesses. And if they look at
Which it is. Yep.
East Gloucester, or, you know, East Gloucester, it is.
and that would be last call at midnight. That's what we're talking about, and close at what time?
Well,
Is it-
12.
usually there's no reason to be on the premises after 12:30 with a liquor license.
Yep.
Mhm.
And it sounds to me that that's the direction you want to be in anyway. I've had conversations with Dawn Caraway. I mean, for the record, I'm friendly with her and completely trust in the way she manages the businesses she's worked for. And the conversations I've had with her, it's along the lines of what I'm hearing from you is you want to provide a great product, help a lot of businesses, great seafood, be able to be accessible at night. I know I'm someone that could very easily go out at 11 o'clock at night and get some great seafood and maybe have a glass of wine. But that doesn't mean that I'm going out to party, right? It just means I want to have a good drink with some great food. And I believe there is a need in this community for that. And I truly believe you're going to be extremely successful offering that type of product and service. But just to address the concerns, I personally would like to limit it to be consistent with other restaurants. And if there aren't any problems and you do feel like you're losing out on business or functions down the road, you can always come back and ask for more time. But to me, it kind of shows that you do have an end time. You're not the Pratties, you're not the last call place. You're not the hangout. You're doing exactly what you intended to do and making some assurance that the noise level will be less and not go into 1 o'clock in the morning.
Totally. I'm fine with
Correct.
that. That's fair.
But this is just me talking, so there's 2 other members here. We would have to discuss that. I just wanted to hear your reactions to see if we can come to some sort of conclusion, because it is 8:14. And we want to vote on this tonight. I believe we are able to vote on this tonight, and we have other matters to address as well. So John and Ted, any more questions, suggestions for the attorney, for the owner, manager?
No, I'm happy if it's a 12:30 a.m. last call. I mean, at 12 o'clock, sorry, 12 o'clock a.m. last call. It's consistent to the other businesses.
So the last seating of food is at 11, and there would be no service of alcohol after 12 to accommodate the 11 o'clock diners.
Yes, that's correct.
And for those that are listening in, just know that this board is accessible. If there's concerns, the public can always come to the board. And likewise to the business, if you're doing great and want and need more time, open earlier, open later, maybe. I'm not sure how that would go. Just know that what we vote on tonight can change either more or less down the road. There's always that ability. I just can't help but wonder how you're going to keep up with all the business, because I think this is going to be a really, really busy restaurant. And I think you're going to find all your neighbors are going to be sitting there, dining there at night, enjoying the great seafood that you offer. John and Ted, anything else on this? Do we want to make a motion? I see their application is complete. I don't have any questions on their application. Allison, can you confirm that we have all the documents we required for this application?
I do not check those because they're state documents.
Yep. And what do we have? What is requested for the operating hours on the license?
Are you asking me?
Yes. What was requested in the system for operating hours? Is it 11 o'clock start?
They haven't put it in the system yet. Unless they put it under their common vic.
So for
Thank you,
the service of alcohol would start at
Mhm.
11 each day? Is that, Tess, is that what you're, or Attorney Ellison?
Yeah, 11.
So 11 Monday through Sunday?
Correct.
Yes.
Is there a motion to come forward? Is
Yes,
there any more
I was
questions?
I was looking at I was gonna look at the common eviction
Yeah.
just to see what's on there for hours. So just bear with me 1 second.
Yep. I know there's a lot in this application, so.
So common fix don't identify hours.
I think
At
after
least
this
not
one,
on the system.
Yeah, I didn't think so. We don't have them put anything in until the board and the state approve it.
I can make a motion though.
And I just want to make a comment too, because we check on the manager. So Chris McGowan, you clearly satisfy any requirements, in my opinion, to be a manager on this license based on your experience in the hospitality business. So I have no question on your, on that ability. Your resume is impressive.
Thank you.
John, did you want to make a motion?
Sure. I motion to approve seasonal all alcohol beverage license for Rocky Neck Lobster Company, Second Inc., doing business as a lobster at 115 Main Street, building number 121, manager of record, Chris McGowan. Hours of operation 11 a.m. to 12 a.m., Monday through Sunday.
point of
Second.
order, would it be 12:30 hours of operation and 12 a.m. last call, or?
So right now we're doing the alcohol license and we're saying the service of alcohol would end at 12 a.m.
Thank you for the clarification.
Yep, that's okay. Got a lot going on here. Is there a second to the motion?
Yeah, I'll second the motion.
A second the motion. Okay. Is there discussion on the motion before us? Any comments? Any more questions?
No, Madam Chair.
Okay, Allison, roll call vote.
Mr. Lamron,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. On the common victual license,
I motion to approve a new common victual license for Rocky Neck Lobster Company, Inc., the Second Inc., doing business as a lobster, 115 Main Street, hours of operation 11 a.m. to 12:30 a.m.
I'll second that. Would Ted second the motion? Any further discussion?
No, Madam Chair.
Roll call vote, please.
Mr. Lamron,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. Congratulations. When can we expect you to
Thank
open,
you.
Tess?
June.
June?
Yeah, beginning of June. We're hoping May, but I'd say June is a safe bet at this point.
You have a staff ready to go?
We have
That's usually the struggle.
Yeah, yeah, we have some in the pipeline. I have
Okay.
staff too from here that have a lot of people that want to work. So we should be
The only
good.
thing, before you leave, I would just strongly suggest that you keep in touch with your neighbors when you can. Sometimes flyers, letting them know if there's a special event that's going to happen. Everyone's going to be watching, waiting, listening to see about the excitement that's going on over there. So I just learned from experience with these types of matters that the more communication with the neighbors, the more successful and happy everyone is. And I know
Sounds good.
you have a great reputation of working with people, so I have no doubt that this will be successful.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you very much.
Thank you for the advice.
Thank you, guys. Yes.
Good luck.
Anything else? Have a good night. Thank
Good night.
you.
Thank you.
Thank you, guys.
Next order of business is a proposed change of manager for a Section 12 seasonal alcohol beverage license for Rocky Necklace LLC DBA The Rudder, 73 Rocky Neck Ave, manager of record Nora McKenna. I believe we have a lot of people on this call. There's still 40 people. We have Attorney Meredith Fine.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Hopefully this will not take as long.
Can you just state your name and address?
Yes. Attorney Meredith Fine, 108 East Main Street, right across from that new restaurant you were just talking about.
Excellent. Is anyone else here with you tonight?
Yes, Miss McKenna is here and she's going to speak for herself.
Okay, great. Nora McKenna. Hi, can you say your name and address, please?
Nora McKenna, 64 Perkins Street.
Thank you, Nora. So we are changing managers at Rocky Necklace. Does that mean we'll be opening soon?
Yes, we will be.
What is your opening date proposal?
Saturday.
This Saturday? Excellent. Is that for a soft opening or?
Yeah, a soft opening.
And what are your hours going to be at the Rudder?
For this week, we're going to be on Saturday, we're going to be 3 to 9. Saturday and Sunday.
And when will you be open more days than 2 days a week?
The following week will be open 4 days, and then come June, July, and August, we'll be open 7 days a week.
Okay.
What are those hours of operation?
12 dinner service, service will be 12 to 9, and then I think the bar will stay open till 10 or 10:30.
Okay, Nora, tell me a little bit about yourself and
Sure.
your service in the industry. It's nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. I started cooking in Gloucester almost 10 years ago. I worked at Short and Main during their opening team. I was there for 5 years as a cook. Then I went to Tono where I was the sous chef. And I left Tono after a year and I started at the Open Door. I was at the Open Door as their executive chef from 2019 to September 2021. And I left that job because I had a baby and that was lovely. And I started with Barbara Lynch here at the Rudder in February as her chef de cuisine and, manager.
So tell me about your experience with alcohol and managing alcohol. I see your history as with the sous chef and the executive chef, but tell me about your experience with alcohol, knowing the laws of managing alcohol and so forth.
I am TIP certified and I've been a manager with, at Tono in participation with manager meetings over discussing wine menus, developing bar menus, and overseeing staff. So I would, I've overseen lots of various trained staff who wait bars and serve tables and make sure everything is done appropriately.
And how will you be storing alcohol if you're to be manager on this license?
It's locked upstairs in a room and the key is accessible to me and the general manager.
And I'm just asking questions first because I never get to, so I'm kind of jumping at John and Ted tonight. And tell me how you can assure us that those that have IDs that may not be legally theirs, how will you be assuring that proper IDs are being checked and secured as their own?
We'll use 2 forms of identification. So, a license and a bank card or a credit card, or, a license and a passport. We are also planning on hiring as a contingency to their hiring all bartenders and all wait staff will be TIP certified.
Okay.
So we just have all of our checks and balances.
Thank you. John or Ted?
No questions from me, Madam Chair.
How many hours you plan to be at the restaurant?
It is hour 12 and a half for me. So a lot, probably 60 hours a week.
No further questions, Madam Chair.
And would you say that 60 hours is the majority of the time being open?
Yes.
And what is the plan in place if you're not there as far as management?
Our GM is also tip certified.
And that person will be there if you're not?
Yes.
Okay. And you'll likely be available unless you're away on vacation if needed?
Yes. I mean, I live 7 minutes if I'm not behind a water main break, which was a loop-de-loop. But I'm always accessible.
Okay. Thank you.
The new restaurant, I don't plan on taking a vacation till like next winter, so.
Okay. I don't have any further questions. Is there a motion?
I motion to approve a change of manager for a section 12 seasonal all alcohol beverage license for Rocky Necklace LLC doing business as the Rudder at 73 Rocky Neck Ave. Manager on record, Nora McKenna. So move.
Second.
We have a motion and a second. Is there any further discussion? Meredith, I'm sorry, did you want to add anything or
heck no.
you're good?
No.
Okay,
I have no interest in slowing you guys down.
okay. Roll call vote, Allison?
Madam Chair, were there hours put into that motion?
Well, change of manager, we don't usually
Oh, yes, I'm sorry.
for hours. I was just curious because I've been waiting for them to open as well.
Yeah,
So
no, I'm
that's why I
sorry.
asked those
We're getting
questions.
there. We're getting there. I'm
Yeah.
I'm sitting on the deck right now.
Okay.
I can tell.
Okay, Mr. Lamram,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. And I don't see any other business on the agenda tonight. Do you have any questions for us before you leave?
No, thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good luck
Good
this
luck.
evening.
Very much.
Thank you. I appreciate
Attorney
it.
Byrne. Next order of business is common victular renewals. And we usually do this as one motion. I understand there may be business for other people, but in the interest of time,
Yeah,
it
whatever, I
being,
don't care.
we have a common victual license for Melissa Arcella, DBA Sugar Magnolias.
You just want me to do a big motion?
Yeah, I'm just reading them as we go, though. The only one I want to take out is Saltwater Grill, and we'll do that when we do their other business. If that's okay.
Sure. A motion to approve a common victular license renewal for Melissa R. Sala, do business as Sugar Magnolias, 112 Main Street, Smickers Holdings LLC, doing business test to lease at 33 River Road, Eastern Point Yacht Club, 125 Eastern Point Boulevard, and the Squam Yacht Club, Inc., 17 River Road, and Cove Cafe, Lanesville, 1064 Washington Street.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Lamram,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. So those licenses will reissue. New common victual license for Happy Humpback LLC, 2 Lexington Ave. Thought we did one for them for Reed War. Is there anyone here from Happy Hump? We have Maraja Budak.
Hi, that should have been a renewal.
Okay, yeah, I thought so.
I can do it real quick.
Yeah, let's do that quick. Thank you for letting us know, because I know you've been open for a while.
Thanks.
A motion to approve a common victular license for Happy Humpback LLC at 2 Lexington Ave. So moved.
Second.
Motion is second. Roll call vote, Allison?
Mr. Lamram,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. Thank you. Do you have any questions for us?
No, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye-bye.
Bandit Inc., DBA Cove Cafe, Lanesville at YMCA Cafe 7 Gloucester Crossing. Is anyone here for that? I see David Goodwin, YMCA. I don't know if they're here for this matter. Is anyone here for Bandit Inc., DBA Cove Cafe? Can you please raise your hands? I don't see anybody, so I'm just going to move on to the next matter and we can come back to it. Seasonal restaurant wine and malt beverage with cordials, liquor license renewals. Melissa Sala, DBA Sugar Magnolias. And Melissa Sala is here. Can we promote her, please? Missy, can you unmute and state your name and address for the record?
Yes, my name is Melissa R. Sala. I live at 4 Pebble Path, Gloucester, Massachusetts.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Are you getting ready to open?
I'm hoping, I'm in the process of trying to figure everything out, but I just wanted to make sure I had all my ducks in a row. So when and if I do open, I can have that license once my inspections are all done.
You had water damage, correct? Didn't something happen recently?
Yeah, yeah, it's a mess.
Yeah.
We're totally gutted at this point, and I'm waiting to hear from my landlord and hoping that she does the right thing and everything works out perfectly and we can reopen in the next few months, but I just don't know at this point. We have all the estimates into insurance companies and we're waiting to hear back.
Okay, and what's the landlord's name there?
Zoe McManus.
Okay. And so is it the insurance company and the payments that's the holdup or a bunch of things?
A million things. I don't even know where to begin. So, yeah, I just don't know. I just wanted to make sure that if I
No, I
was
understand.
able to get open, I would be able to just get my license rather than have to wait.
Right. And what were your operating hours going to be? Was it the same as before?
Yeah, same as before. Yep.
Yeah, and I've got 8 a.m. through 8 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 a.m. through 8 p.m. on Sunday.
Exactly.
Okay. So we can put this forward tonight, but I'm just gonna probably check in with you in about 2 to 3 months if you're not open yet and ask for a status.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
I don't want to prevent you from opening. It doesn't, if you can get open sooner, that's great. But we don't like to issue licenses that go unused.
Yeah,
So we're
no, I
gonna just
get it.
track it.
Yep.
So if you get an email from us, we're just probably gonna look for an update, that's all, but
Okay.
I completely understand it was out of your control and the situation you're in.
Yeah.
Jonathan,
Okay.
any questions? And if not, is there a motion?
I motion to approve. Oh, sorry, Ted.
I thought Ted was gonna ask you a question.
Nope, nothing for me.
Okay, sorry,
That's
Go
okay.
John.
I motion to approve a seasonal restaurant wine and malt beverage with cordial liquors license to Melissa R. Sala, doing business as Sugar Magnolias, 112 Main Street. So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. Thank you, Missy. Any questions for us before you go?
No, I don't think so. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you.
Thank you, good luck.
Thank you.
Get open soon. Next order of business is Smickers Holden LLC, DBA Talise at 33 River Road. Is there someone here for Talise? Please raise your hand or press star
Josh
9.
Smith is.
Okay,
Josh Smith is here.
thank you.
Did we lose him?
Hi, can you hear us?
We may have lost him. I let him in and he disappeared.
Okay, let's
No,
move on
yeah.
to,
No, we
oh,
got
there
him.
he is. Okay. Josh, can you unmute and state your name and address for the record?
Hi, it's Josh Smith, 33 River Road, Gloucester.
Thank you. You are on a renewal for Tilly's. When are you opening?
We're hoping to open May 11th.
May 11th? Excellent. And what will your operating hours be?
It's the same hours as last year.
I have those, Madam Chair, if you want.
Yeah, I'd like them read in, please. If you could.
Thursday through Monday, 9 p.m. to 5 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. Sunday, 9 a.m. to 9:30 p.m.
It starts on Wednesday. So Wednesday through Friday, 5 to 9. Saturday, Sunday, I think we had from 9 to 9. That should.
I was just going off what the application has online.
Okay, so yeah, so that we should have had that updated.
So Wednesday through Monday, 5 p.m. to 9:30.
Wednesday through Friday.
Friday.
Right? Yeah, because you have to say 9 to 9:30 on Saturday, Sunday. Yeah.
I'm hearing 5 to 9 Wednesday through Friday and 9 to 9:30 on Saturday and Sunday.
Correct.
Yes. Got it.
How's it going with the neighbors?
Ariel's here as well, sorry.
Hi, sorry. Yeah, we're both here. It's good. We have been emailing with them. We were gone for the winter, but we did our group email with all the neighbors a couple of days ago. Checked in with all of the points that we've gone over for the last couple of years that we agreed to originally the first time. So about noise control and making sure there's no alcohol and serving on the side deck, lowering the panels at night so it stays quiet. Yeah, all of the things that we've agreed to and we're trying to keep up with and communicate with them.
Excellent.
Madam Chair,
Yes.
the board received a email from Mrs., I believe it was McInerney. And she said that she's happy, the neighborhood is very happy with everything that they've discussed.
Excellent.
Great.
Good to hear. Must be exciting now that COVID regulations are over.
Yes, definitely.
I can't even imagine the lines you're gonna have down there this year.
Oh.
Ted or John, any questions for Talise?
None for me.
There a
No,
motion?
ma'am. I motion to approve a seasonal restaurant wine and malt beverage with cordials, alcohol, or liqueurs license to Smickers Holdings LLC doing business as Elise 33 River Row.
Second.
We have a motion and second. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammerin,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes,
Madam Chair,
yes.
I should have put their hours in.
Oh yeah, the hours are 5 to 9:30. I'm sorry, 5 to 9 Monday. Let me start over. 5 to 9, Wednesday through Friday, Saturday and Sunday, 9 to 9:30. Yeah. Okay, any questions for us?
No, I
No,
don't think so.
that's it.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Sorry
you.
about the long
Good
wait.
luck.
No, it's okay. Good luck.
Realize we're gonna have that many people tonight. Thank you.
Good night.
Thank you.
Next order of business is seasonal restaurant alcohol beverage license renewal, Saltwater Grill LLC, DBA Saltwater Grill, 226A Washington Street. And we have Jack, I believe. Who is here from Saltwater Grill? If you can raise your hand, we can promote you.
I'm bringing in John Fallon.
John Fallon, yeah.
Which it might be Jack on there.
He goes reading someone else's name. John, can you unmute, please? And if you can show your face, that would be great. There he is. So we just need to unmute. We can't hear you. We can see you, but we can't hear you. There you go. Oh, we
Hi.
lost you. Hi, John. Name and address?
Jack Fallon, 131 North End Boulevard, Salisbury, Mass.
Thank you. Very happy to see you tonight. This is a good sign.
Yeah, thank you. I know it's been
And
a,
tough.
yeah, tough little road that we went through, but we're looking forward to getting back into the swing of things,
Okay, so we have you listed tonight to renew your alcohol license and your common victual license.
Yes.
And we have your application. John or Ted, do you have any questions on the application that's in the packet?
No, Madam Chair. I think the only question I had, no seating changes, no redesigns of the location, the restaurant itself.
No, everything is the same, except the chef obviously is different. And well, I wanted to ask about outdoor seating, if that was allowed, because I wasn't sure if that was something we could apply for. We did have it for COVID. So if we're not allowed to do that, that would be different, because we had 24 seats outside on the patio in the parking lot area.
So the COVID regulations have expired. So any outdoor dining that was allowed due to COVID has expired. If you want to make the business decision that you want to expand your licensed area to outdoors, you would have to do an application. It's on the ABCC website, and then come before us to make that determination. But it's not automatic because of the COVID. Those regulations have expired.
Madam Chair, they'd have to go to the zoning board of appeals first as well.
Right, yeah, there's a long process for that. So you'd have to go to the zoning board and make sure that you pass regulations with them as far as your barriers, if they can allow it in that area, and meet their qualifications. If you do, then you would come to us to expand your license.
Oh, okay, I see what you mean.
Okay.
Yeah. The only other change, we were considering an entertainment license as well. I know I have to get a license for that.
Yep, entertainment license for, even if you're just streaming music, you would need an entertainment license.
Yeah, because that we're
But that's
considering.
not on the agenda tonight, so we wouldn't be able to entertain that tonight. That is something you would apply for online through the permitting system.
Okay.
So tonight is about getting you your common victular license so you can sell food, and your alcohol license.
Yeah.
So it's my understanding, you're saying your floor plan has not changed, your bar plan has not changed,
That's correct. Yeah,
seating
everything is.
capacity has not changed.
No, everything's the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
John and Ted, any questions?
No, Madam Chair.
No, Madam Chair.
How are you doing with staff this year,
Well,
as far as waitresses and bartenders?
we're not complete yet, but I was talking to a couple of people that were with us prior to last year. So there's some really good people that want to come back.
Okay.
And I would think that we'd probably have maybe 40% more to hire for the season. And we're looking to open at the early first week of May.
And what are your operating hours going to be?
That would be the same as well. I believe we were opening at 11 a.m.
Yeah, we have a Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12:30 a.m.
Right. Yeah, everything is pretty much the same. Yeah.
Okay. Yes, you're open 7 days a week?
Yes.
Got it. I don't have any more questions. Is there a motion?
A motion to approve a seasonal restaurant all alcohol beverage license to Saltwater Grill LLC, doing business as Saltwater Grill, 226A Washington Street. So move.
Second.
And the hours are 11 a.m. to 12:30 a.m.
Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 12:30 a.m.
We have a motion, second. Is there any further discussion? Roll call vote on the alcohol license.
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. And is there a motion to approve the common vic?
Motion to approve a common victular license for Saltwater Grill LLC doing business at Saltwater Grill, 226A Washington Street. So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammerin,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. John, do you have any questions for us?
No, I think I'm good at this point. I wanted to thank Allison for all her support and her assistance just to get me back to where I need to be.
You're
Yeah.
welcome.
Yeah.
Anytime.
And also thank the board. So.
You're welcome.
Look-
If there's
I look
anything we
forward-
can do to help you, just give us a call. Give Allison a call. She, like you said, she's really good at responding.
Yeah, oh, definitely. I
Yeah.
look forward to seeing everybody.
Okay. You have a good night. Have a good
Yeah.
season. We'll see you.
Yeah. Go Bruins.
Yeah.
Have a night.
Thank you. Thank you very
Have a
much.
good night.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Next order of business is seasonal club and all alcohol beverage license renewal. We have Eastern Point Yacht Club. They also have an entertainment license and a lodging license. Why are you laughing?
It's not a lot.
We have Tim Hart. Hi, Tim.
Hi, how are you?
Very good. How are you?
I'm well, thank you.
Getting ready to open the season?
Yeah, we hopefully Friday night, April 28th,
Wow,
3-night dining.
excellent. And what do you plan on doing for your hours this year, now that COVID is gone?
I think they're going to be exactly the same.
No, Tim, no.
I have Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. through to 11 p.m.
Correct.
Yeah.
Monday through
Can
Sunday.
we ask the hour earlier with the brunches?
On Sunday, yeah.
So what was the difference on Sunday?
I think we were at 12 o'clock on Sunday. We'd like to be 11
Oh,
o'clock, I
11.
think.
Yeah, we do have 11. It's
Well,
Monday through
that's what I
Sunday,
thought
11.
for the Vic, yeah.
Yeah, Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m.
Okay, so it's the same.
Excellent. Nothing has changed. Seating is the same, floor plan's the same.
Yes, that's correct.
Manager, you're still manager, everything's great.
Yes.
John or Ted, any questions?
No, ma'am, should you want to talk about the entertainment now, time-wise, or you
Yeah,
just
let's
want to?
Yeah, and then we'll read all the motions off. So let's ask about entertainment. What are you doing for entertainment this year?
Exactly the same as last year. We usually have a single person or sometimes a duo on the porch. They end before 9 o'clock. And then if there's a larger group, it's inside. So pretty low-key, quiet music, and it all ends before 9 o'clock generally for the members.
Okay, and that's Sunday as well? Same thing, right?
Yes.
Yeah, I have just, the license has Monday through Saturday, 11 p.m. to 11 p.m. I mean, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. and then a Sunday before 1 p.m. and 10 p.m.
Yeah, that's fine.
And you don't have any issues with the neighbors over there, correct?
No, most of them are members and they're very easy to work with and we keep good relations with them.
Okay. John, do you want to make those motions? And then we'll do the lodging separate. So we'll start with the all alcohol.
Motion to approve a seasonal club with all alcohol beverage license to Eastern Point Yacht Club, 125 Eastern Point Ave, operating Monday through Sunday, 11 a.m. to 11 p.m. So move.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammerin,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes.
I
No,
motion to approve entertainment license to Eastern Point Yacht Club, 125 Eastern Point Boulevard, Monday through Saturday, 12 p.m. to 11 p.m. So move.
Second.
And that's indoor and outdoor. Any further discussion?
No?
Roll call, vote.
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince,
Yes. Sunday license?
I motion to approve a Sunday entertainment license to Eastern Point Yacht Club, 125 Eastern Point Boulevard, before 1 PM to 10 PM.
Second.
Any further discussion? Roll call vote.
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince,
Yes. Now we have lodging.
I motion to approve a light. You want to ask any questions? I mean, I'm assuming it's the same.
I just want to confirm that it's the same. I'm looking at it.
Okay.
I don't remember what the numbers were from last year.
It's exactly the same as last year. We have 6 different rooms.
And you go through December 31st.
Correct.
Okay. Any questions?
No.
No motion?
I motion to approve a lodging license to Eastern Point Yacht Club, 125 Eastern Point Boulevard. So move.
Second.
Roll call vote.
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Ms. Prince, I'm sorry, Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. Any questions for us while you're here?
I don't think so. Jack, do you have any?
No, we're good. We've made no changes. Thank you. As
Thank
always, for
you.
help.
Have a great season.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next order of business is Annisquam Yacht Club, Inc., 17 River Road. Who is here? We have Dylan Russell. So they are on for seasonal and entertainment. For Saturday and Sunday.
All right, can you hear me?
You can.
Hello.
Hi. State your name and address, please.
My name is Dylan Russell. I'm at 39R Sargent Street in Gloucester.
Thank you. You are getting ready to open. When is the yacht club going to open?
We are opening towards the end of May. I think it's the 28th.
Okay. Questions for Mr. Russell? Anything
No, I
different from
have-
last year?
Well, I actually wasn't expecting to be on the license again this year, so I attached a bunch of terms to my contract to protect myself in this event. We are getting the entire staff tip certified. Any and all events will have a bouncer, at least while my name is on there. And I guess they intend to switch to the new dining room manager, but she was hired too late in the game to get this process going. So they
So
sent
what
me.
does that mean?
They intend to switch to Carissa Favaloro. She's the
To
new
be-
dining room manager.
To be the manager on the liquor license?
Yes.
Okay, they have to formally apply for that. But right now, your name is on there. And you're okay with that? Just want to
Yeah.
make sure. Okay. Everyone's tip certified. You're having a bouncer. How much time do you spend at Annisquam Yacht Club?
Well,
I remember you were just
Last-
filling in. This was supposed to be temporary, right?
so last year while I was on the temporary, I was there for every minute we served alcohol because it's my head on the chopping block.
Yeah.
So until I'm off, I'll be on every single day. I mean, I'm there 7 days a week anyway, so
Okay.
I pretty much live there. Another term of my contract that we added to account for this was my payroll budget increased. So I've been able to hire a rock star staff for the kitchen, which means I don't have to babysit them. So I'm out front more playing air traffic control role this season, making sure that the seatings are going properly and all that sort of stuff. So
Okay.
I'm no longer tied to my pants.
I can't tell if you're happy or not.
So I just had surgery. I can't really move half my face.
Oh, okay. Questions for Dale and Russell?
I have hours of operation Monday through Saturday, 8 AM to 11 PM, and Sunday, 11 AM to 11 PM. Still the same?
Yes.
Thank you. And for entertainment, I have Monday through Saturday, 11 AM to 11 PM. And then on Sundays, I have before 1 PM to 11 PM.
Yep. I mean, those are the stated hours, but I mean, we cut off the bands at 10.
Yeah, yep, but that's the hours on the license.
Just trying to be friendly with the neighbors.
Is that indoor and outdoor or just indoors?
It's, so we generally put the bands outdoor on the front deck. That's where they've been since I started there for 6
And we
years.
haven't had no issues with neighbors?
Nope.
No.
Okay.
And it does say indoor, outdoor, Madam Chair, on the license.
Okay. Is there motions to approve?
I motion to approve a seasonal club with all alcohol beverage license to Annisquam Yacht Club, Inc. at 17 River Road. Hours of operation Monday through Saturday, 8 AM to 11 PM, Sunday, 11 AM to 11 PM. So move.
Second,
Any further discussion on the motion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
yes.
Ms. Prince,
Yes.
I motion to approve an entertainment license to Annisquam Yacht Club, Inc. At 17 River Road. Entertainment indoor, outdoor, Monday through Saturday, 11 AM to 11 PM. So move.
Second,
Any further discussion? Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes.
I motion to approve a Sunday entertainment license to Annisquam Yacht Club, Inc., 17 River Road. Sundays, let's see, before 1 PM through 11 PM.
Second,
Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. Dylan, any questions for us?
No, ma'am.
Thank you very much. Have a great
Thank
season.
you. You too.
Take care. Next order of business is seasonal package store with wines and malt beverage license renewal for Energy North Inc., 73 Essex Ave. Is there anyone here from North and Energy North? Allison, is anyone supposed to be in particular?
Usually their attorney, Michelle, is there, but I do not see her.
Not Michelle Harrison, correct?
No.
Okay. I do see someone calling in by phone, so I didn't know if that was it. If no one is here, we are going to put that off until the next meeting. It's my understanding they're not open. I don't know that there's a building there.
There is not.
Next order of business is lodging license, YMCA of North Shore 67 Middle Street. David Goodwin.
Hi there, how are you?
Hi, David. Can you state your name and address, please?
Yep, David Goodwin, and I'm 18 Loring Ave in Salem, Mass.
Thank you for joining us tonight. Anything
Sorry.
different?
Nope, everything is the same. It's 22 units for a lodging house license.
I thought that expanded, no?
So we will be expanding in the future, but for this year, we're not.
Okay. How you doing with the construction over there?
Good, we're down to ground level and we're doing pretty good. Things are getting moving now, so.
Hi. So nothing has changed. John or Ted, any questions for David Goodwin?
No,
No, Madam Chair.
Thank you for what you're doing there. There's a lot of good work going on. Is
Oh, thank you.
there a motion to approve?
I motion to
Madam
approve a
Chair,
lodge. Who?
I'm sorry, we're just waiting on their payment. We just had a little hiccup. If we could approve this one pending their payment,
And that was mailed out today at noon.
thank you.
Thank you.
I motion to approve a lodging license to YMCA of the North Shore, 67 Middle Street, pending payment. So move.
Second.
Roll call vote?
Mr. Lammery,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince.
Yes. Thank you very much.
Thank
Any
you.
questions?
Thank you, Lord. Thank you, Allison.
You're
Have a good
welcome.
day.
Take care.
And I believe finally, discussion of the board, Sam Parks, 100 Gloucester Crossing, and will provide an update on the sale and transfer of his license. I see Michelle Harrison is raising her hand. Michelle, can you unmute? And
Yeah.
there we go. Hi.
I don't know where my video is yet.
That's okay.
Not my video.
So sorry you had to wait this long. I should have called, if I had looked ahead, I would have called you first.
Well, that's okay. I got
I
some
hope
other work
saving the
done.
best for last gives us some reprieve.
For the record, my name is Michelle Harrison, and I am I guess, kind of a special project manager for Sam Park and Company. And this is to report on the status of the license that Sam Park holds at Gloucester Crossing. And let this be your best news of the night that yes, he has a buyer. The buyer is a group called Harbor 9 Golf. And I think Sam mentioned this to you once before, but now Harbor 9 Golf has the lease has been signed, the financing has been secured. They have already started some work on the site. If you are at Gloucester Crossing and you see Home Goods, this operation will be to the left of Home Goods. I don't know if they're here tonight. Maybe you can tell Melissa that's Anna and David Huddleston.
No, we have two attendees that don't have that name.
No, okay.
No, sorry.
That I asked them to participate, at least to hear tonight, because they're in the process of preparing their application for the transfer. We hope it will be on your May agenda. They have spoken with Allison about how to do it. I've recommended some attorneys to them as well. What will be there, and I just know a brief framework of it, it's kind of a simulation golf entertainment where you're playing holes, you're simulating playing holes at various well-known golf courses. And then there'll be kind of a 19th hole bar for the alcohol and food. And that's it.
Excellent.
It's happening. Everything's in place. Now they
We
just have to
have
get their license in. I'm hoping they'll have their application complete for May.
Okay. Do you have a time frame for when they plan on opening and using the license?
Well, as I said, they've started some construction.
Yeah.
Important pieces. They have their financing for the
Okay.
outfitting of it inside. So that's really
A big
what
hurdle.
we've been waiting for.
Yeah.
And the
Okay.
execution of the lease as well. So it's all happened. Sam apologizes for not being here, but you wouldn't get through as quickly if you were respectfully said. He likes long stories. So that's where we are.
Okay.
Michelle, will they have seating? How much seating will they have in there? Do you know?
I don't know. I used to know the size of each of those separate buildings. John, and I don't anymore. I'm sorry, but
No, just
that
curious.
will all be in their application, and you'll have a site plan as well.
Great, thank you.
Not a site plan, a building plan.
Yeah, floor layout.
Ted Costa, any questions for Attorney Michelle Harrison?
No,
Oh, no,
was up-
she's retired. You have to call me.
I know, and I like to say that.
I was up there looking through the windows at some of the contractors working just yesterday. So nope, it's good to see that Mr. Park held up to his word.
Yeah,
It's been
Been
a
a long
long,
haul.
hard, it's been a long, hard struggle to be in retail now. So,
Yeah.
you know, with inflation and post-COVID and, you know, all of that. So I commend him too for hanging in there and getting the tenant.
absolutely. He's done a lot of good for the city,
Yeah,
no doubt. And so have you.
thank you.
So it's a pleasure to see you tonight, and thank you very much for the update. And we'll look forward to seeing that application in May.
I hope so too. And Sam has volunteered my help to help them if they need some.
Oh, what a nice guy.
Yes, what can I say? We're joined at the hip.
Yeah.
Thank you
Thank
very
you
much. You had a
again.
long, hard night. Just
Yeah, I
remember,
didn't
I was
expect that.
I
I
was the chair when we
apologize.
denied the farm.
Oh, yeah, you were. Yes, I
That was all
remember.
kind of a deja vu experience for me.
You've come full circle tonight.
Full circle, exactly. So, thank you, everybody. Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Okay.
Take care, Michelle.
All right, bye.
Bye, Michelle.
Bye-bye. Okay, that is a wrap. I don't see any other matters on the agenda. It is 9:08. Is there a motion?
Motion to adjourn. So move.
Roll call, please.
Did Ted second?
Yes, I
Yes,
did.
Ted.
Yes.
Mr. Lammerow,
Yes.
Mr. Costa,
Yes.
Ms. Prince?
Yes. Thank you, Allison.
Thank you, Allison.
Welcome.
We don't have a need for anything until May, right?
Not that I've heard.
Okay. That way.
Yay.
Thank you all very much. It was a longer night than I expected. I was kind of caught off guard by how many people came to that public hearing. That's okay. We're
You did
here
well.
left. We'll see how that goes.
They'll be back.
Have a great night.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night, Allison. Good night, Ted. Good night, John.